5, 4, 3, 2, 1, sync.
Sync.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the TTV Podcast, episode 274. What is that? What are you doing? What is this?
You can hear the saliva in the back of Var's throat.
I'm seriously concerned. Are you okay?
It's like leaking directly.
Are you okay, Var? How are you? Do you need to lie down?
Thirsty.
Anyway, 274. How you? I'm missing it.
Crap. I'm Var.
I'm John.
I'm Phweffie.
And hey!
Whenever I do a bit and no one knows what to do.
That one was uniquely spook.
You're like a
I feel like
naughty
you were,
child,
Go on.
behaving child. You just have to ignore them.
Pretty much ignore them and they'll go away.
I feel like you're possessed by the Demigorgon.
The Demigorgon.
I think the Demigorgon would be way less terrifying if it made a sound like that.
Yes, true.
True.
It's like a, it's like a zombie, a zombo.
It's
Phweffie,
gurgling
you
like
watch
that.
Stranger Things? I'm just wondering because like
I
the
watch
80s is like a
Stranger
thing for America. Okay.
Right.
You're like, I just wonder how it
80s
looks.
was a thing specifically for
Only
America.
in America, the
I'm gonna
80s.
say
It
only
seems
America.
like it.
But like, it's just like all the
America.
culture, all the 80s flashback, they seem to be centered around the American version of the 80s.
It's
You know what I'm
weird
saying?
because America has this thing where like every 10 years it's like a new complete shift in society. Like the wardrobe is different, the music is different, and the attitude towards everything is different. And
Yeah.
like you can look at like a picture from the 70s and be like, that's from the 70s.
Just look at
You can look at a
nowadays, we
picture
got
from the
fidget
80s.
spinners. That's the new
That's from the
thing.
80s.
Here, I'm gonna Google 70s fashion. I'm gonna link you the first image that comes up.
Oh, please, no. This is gonna be terrifying, dude.
I don't know if
Are you
that's
ready
if
for
it's
this?
like that.
Thanksgiving's... Oh, I was good. Thanksgiving.
I don't know if it's like this anywhere else in the world, but like, it definitely seems prevalent here in America. Like every 10 years, it's a completely new thing.
What's with those jeans?
I don't know. It's what are
the,
they called?
the flamboyant
The-
jeans.
The super baggy jeans.
Bell bottoms. That's what they call them. Bell
Bell
bottoms.
bottoms.
Okay, what does 2000 to 2010 look like? Really low cut pants for women. If you
Oh,
notice, like
nice.
women's fashion's changed a lot. Waist high pants are in again.
Yeah,
Whereas in the 2000s, it was like really low.
true.
Let's
What's
see.
so chill? Like, what's the error you just posted, Kahi?
That's the 80s. All right.
Yeah,
and then
everyone
this
looks
is-
so
this is
chill in the
the-
80s. They just got baggy
this is the
trousers.
90s.
Nobody cares.
2000s.
Oh boy.
I feel like the
baggy
90s...
baggy clothing in the 90s was real in. The baggy, really baggy jeans. It's completely
Yeah.
shifted now. Nowadays, it's like
now
the
it's
tighter your
form, but
pants
yeah,
are.
Yeah, the tighter. You know, it's like people want stuff that looks good.
baggy jeans and the skater boys.
Very
Skater
true.
boys were big and early.
And now they're
90s,
done.
early 2000s.
I finished.
They're
Nobody
not as
cares
big
about
anymore. Now
skating.
they're just stoners.
Pretty much. They've like morphed and changed. Oh boy.
Skating in general was really big. You guys remember when
Dude,
Tony
I wish,
Hawk was
like-
like a national treasure?
Who?
I remember.
Who's that?
Yeah, who's Tony Hawk?
I freaking love skate, like just like Tony Hawk and skate, like just in general.
Yeah, there's like a new Tony Hawk game every year.
I
The
remember the
newest
Tony Hawk
skate
video
that
game.
came out was ridiculous. Like the ragdoll was insane on that.
Good
Ragdoll physics was
times.
crazy.
Good
I remember Tony
times.
Hawk's Pro Skater 3 for the Game Boy Color. I had that game, and I had no idea how to play it at all.
A skating game on the Game Boy Color. Somehow I doubt that worked
sounds
well.
gross.
I doubt
maybe it was
that
like
could be a
Game Boy
thing.
Advance,
No.
but it was not. It was fun. You know, let's make it like the reason why I played it so much is because when you're a kid, before the age of the iPhone, where you could just download a new game every week, you bought a game. Your parents bought you a game. You were stuck with that game. Doesn't matter what that game was. You were thankful and you played it. You
There was
shut
this
up
one
and cried.
particularly Danny Phantom game, one particular Danny Phantom game for the Game Boy that I got at a Walmart one day and beat it on the car ride back home. And it cost like $25. Value
What a
has
waste.
changed.
How long did it take you to come back from your Walmart, dude?
It was a bit of a drive. I think it was during but even
That's
still.
awful.
That's
I
why I
remember.
hate
I'm trying to think of the old Game Boy games I played. I played Wario Land. Wario World? Wario Land?
It was Land, I think.
Wario Land 4?
Wow.
When he and Wario could punch them. I forget which game it was. A giant temple, and there's 4 different bosses, and they were all weird bosses, and they all had different worlds and stuff. That was a game I played for ages.
We better be careful and not have another video game discussion this week.
Yeah,
I don't think
I
our
was
fans
saying.
could handle it. They'd probably die.
Video games are different.
I was gonna
will-
say,
TV shows.
Back in the skateboarding one, I do remember I remember specifically seeing the trailer for Tony Hawk's what was it? American? No, it wasn't American Wasteland that came after. It was Underground. Yeah, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater Underground or whatever.
Pro Skater Underground. I do.
And the
They-
biggest thing was that you could finally get off of your skateboard and actually walk around. And I was like, no way!
Incredible.
Oh my god!
you had to go around and talk to people and
Yeah, it was like an actual game. It was really
watch
cool.
my brother play it and just be like, "Come on, you've got this." He's like, "I don't want to do this anymore."
Stop
Like,
pressuring me.
They should,
couldn't
you know what
do
they
it.
should do?
It's not like you
They
can
should-
skate in real life. Do it here.
That
Low
should be the
blow.
new DLC
Actually, I think
for
my brother
Grand
could.
Theft
I
Auto.
couldn't though. I step on a skateboard and I slip and break my back.
GTA Online Tony Hawk DLC.
Yeah, I know, you get the skateboard and you can ride all around San Andreas, or Los Santos.
Los Santos. Get it right. It's important.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys.
I mean,
I love
it is
those-
San Andreas too,
Yeah, that's true.
right? San Andreas is in Los Santos.
It's awesome,
so-
man.
Didn't they say that they found the maps for the other island?
They also said there was going to be single player DLC. Look
Yeah,
where
I said
that
a lot of
went.
things.
That's true.
No
That's
way.
Oh man.
I would play the single DLC if I had one.
Oh. Truth.
That is my favorite gaming memory with this group is playing GTA online.
Say.
Golfing and killing each other.
Yep, and golf.
Yeah,
My favorite
We all had
gaming
Xbox
memory
I
Xbox
never
was,
played golf.
my favorite gaming
Yeah.
memory was going hardcore in Halo Reach.
Yeah.
I think that was the most fun I've ever had playing a game with our group of friends. It's just because we were good. That was the thing. We've never been good at another game ever.
No. We're decent at Overwatch.
we did have a really great winning streak on Overwatch.
Yeah,
That was as close as we came. Reach
That's
was
as
the.
close as we got.
we were legitimately good in Reach. I remember we would
Arena.
throw around ideas of going pro or something.
Yeah, it was pipe dreams, but at the same time, we weren't bad at all. It was Arena. They had that infrastructure. Reach heavily encouraged competitive play. It was one of the only Halos in recent memory to do so.
The
So,
only time where I've had a positive KD overall ratio. It was great.
come on, VAR. I'm sure if we go back to Halo 5, we can pull it off, right?
I couldn't even pull it off when we went back to Halo Reach. Those days are long gone.
The days are gone because we don't have time anymore. Back then when you're in high school, or and you're all your classes are really easy. All you do is you sit down, you go talk to your friends, you play video games,
Pretty true.
Now it's can't devote that amount of time to anything. I love playing Overwatch and I can only play it a couple times a week.
Overwatch is very fleeting with my enjoyment nowadays. I don't know why.
When Moira came out, I played it for 3 days straight, and then I just dropped it, and I haven't touched it since.
I'm not sure.
And then I'll get back onto it, especially with the Mercy changes, because I'm a Mercy main, so I just kind of really lost interest in playing Mercy since the whole Mercy change.
But Phweffie, cast
Really, she's
time.
much better now though.
The cast time is a killer.
I like the Valkyrie thing. It's just the cast time. That's really annoying. It's just she just gets killed very quickly.
Wadden
you
from
have
our
to
live
really-
studio audience asks, Phweffie is not a Reaper main?
I was gonna say he's my second most played character, but he is he's not my main. Mercy is my main. So.
Prentice.
Interesting.
Good at Mercy.
I gotta throw up that picture in the video. Prentice, you done good. Done good, man.
Well and truly a cursed image.
Ugh.
Phweffie,
All interesting
But
choices
Avak
too.
is Soldier 76 as well. That's the best type of character.
the trigger.
I would not have made Zenyatta AVAC. I would not have put that connection.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah.
Like 0 out of 10 Tracer not happen.
Prentice wouldn't have made Zenyatta AVAC either. Made him Hakan.
Oh, you're right.
I wouldn't have made Lucio Zactone. They are literally the opposite.
Reaper is wait, who's AVAC?
Brown guy.
You know what? Okay, you
the
know
guy
what?
with the gun. Oh, actually,
I
no.
honestly-
L2 Bonkle.
Yeah, get your
been-
bonkle straight, dude.
I have been a Bionicle fan.
I bet you want to make
years
Lewa a
and
girl.
years. I am.
Let's not spoil tomorrow's brainstorm.
All right.
Oh, you
We'll
had
get
to
into
bring it
that.
up. You had to
Boy.
bring it up. Oh, petty soul.
Alright, listen. Alright, listen. You have to understand, okay? Lewa likes adventure. Girls can't like adventure. They can't.
Don't get into it. Don't get into it. It's just a joke.
Boy. All right.
No, but I don't know. I feel like we went off on our clothing tangent to go
we
straight
kinda
to
did.
video games again, as we always do.
Let's talk about video game clothing in GTA Online.
Phweffie, I want to ask you.
One.
So in America, as I mentioned before, we have our very clear eras. Those
Yeah.
10-year periods where like it's very apparent by just looking at a picture what era that took place in. Is that a thing in the UK? Is that like a thing there? I feel like it's really unique to our country. I don't know.
Someone who's only lived in one country, and as you have only lived in one country, I think it's kind of hard to say that.
Yeah, that's that's fair. That's why I'm asking you if like that was a thing in yours.
I've never noticed. Well, firstly, I've noticed like the whole 2000s change. Like it went from like I don't know, like gold stuff. It's kind of more kind of chill, like laid back kind of colors, more burgundy and things like that. It's like apparently
So color palettes changed.
more pastel colors as well instead of like really strong like.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, okay, that's a
Image from 1980s Britain. What's the
If you
guy?
showed me that image, I'd be able to tell that was from like long ago, like based on the clothing. Like if you cut out like everything else, the fact the camera and everything, I would still know that was like a while ago.
Phweffie, do any of those people fit the description of a chav?
No, well,
Nice.
sort of. Like apart part of the fact that they have like tracky bottoms, which people wear tracky bottoms all the time, they're not. They don't.
So
they're not really
I feel
chavs,
it's
no.
I feel it's kind of rude just because they look like they're 10.
I think 10-year-olds could be chavs.
You never saw the video of that kid rapping, John.
We saw some videos.
Ten-year-olds can be
It's
a-holes too.
all
Just kind of see that you'll get a photo and be like, any of these kids, you know?
The guy on the left looks like a super tryhard.
It does kind of feel like a racist thing.
I'm sorry.
all
Even though
the
it's not, but it just feels like it's a prejudice kind of thing. Also, this
the
Sleeping
thing that
Britain
makes
picture
somebody
Aladdin posted. This is interesting. It's very apparent that we like to go in cycles, and when it comes to clothing,
100%.
Very
we go
true.
from super overly tight jeans in the 70s to baggy clothing, and then back to super tight jeans
when
again.
everybody gets fed up, they're like, I'm sick of wearing these jeans. I'm just gonna whip out my boot. Like, what is it like?
These guys need to pull their pants down a little bit.
Well, people just like to rebel.
High a little.
That's what
Well,
it is.
It does go on fashion. I do remember there's a cool thing in the Star Trek reboot that J.J. Abrams did, where they show what like a normal thing on one of the planets. You know, all the humans are walking around, and they're wearing like futuristic versions of 1950s clothing. And I first was like, that's kind of weird, but I was like, you know what? Actually, it does make sense that like, you know, I forgot when Star Trek takes place, but like in the future, we probably did go back to a updated version of the 1950s style, which I really do like. I like the 50s and 60s style of clothing and dress and stuff. So
Because it's
I just thought it was
refreshing.
really
Like
interesting.
you go. Oh, I like that fashion a lot.
I like that.
Aladdin posted a picture of the punk.
The mohawks are a bit crazy, but
Mohawks
like,
are very
the-
crazy.
Mohawks are weird. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of them. I think punk fashion's got some good things going on. They can get a little too crazy at times.
Can the third guy even be called a mohawk? It looks like he has horns.
No, that's That's not a mohawk. I don't know what that is.
One of them looks like he's been electrocuted.
I mean, the punk fashion spread to America too. So,
But that is it's pretty cool though. Like I like the whole just like mishmashy.
I like the mishmashy. I like how personal it is. I feel like every person in the
Yeah,
punk
it's like
scene has their
everybody-
own kind of style, while also still fitting within the mold. And like the whole like idea of like putting patches on your jacket is kind of cool.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of people have spoken to me. A lot of like older people have told me that they used to make their own clothes.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
my
that was a
mum.
thing.
My mum used to. In fact, my mum or my dad would have been an actual really good like person to be on the podcast because they would tell you all about like what they used to wear.
Hardcore
Apparently,
punks.
like of my dad, like when he was my age, and I was like, first of all, he was ginger, and I didn't even realize he was ginger. That really shocked me. Like, he could have been ginger.
Plot twist.
Plot twist.
What if you?
Uh,
What if
but-
Phweffie is ginger and she's been hiding from it? You know, this entire time.
Wouldn't that be interesting?
That would be a really good. Well,
That would be
I mean,
really
it's
good.
Really good.
ginger, but at the same time, I'm not gonna lie. Ginger people do get a bit of like flack for being ginger still.
Yes, it's a meme.
A bit. I feel like they get a lot of flack for being ginger. Still, I feel like that's
It is a
still,
meme.
like a thing.
Are you?
Thank you, South Park, for ruining gingers forever.
Hashtag no soul.
I'm standing in the light. My hair looks ginger apparently, but that's harder to tell nowadays because of the lack of hair on my head. So when you have long hair, but it makes me curious. Like people like think your style is like, you know, when people kind of, oh yeah, she's more like a punk girl, or you know, he's more like a kind of hipster type. What do you think people like see you as based on the way you dress?
Edgy, try hard.
I have a lot of thoughts about what people think when they immediately see me.
Edgy, try hard.
boy.
Purple says, wanna be punk emo, bars the weekend. It's like, not so much clothes, but
belongs in a jail cell.
Well, purple does like she has the dyed hair and the leather jacket and stuff. So
Yeah.
that does.
Yeah, I always seem
It depends on what I'm wearing. I guess.
Yeah, I typical thing I'd wear is like denim jacket, beanie
I
hat.
feel like
you do have the beanie. You wear the beanie hats a lot.
Because somebody said to me today, they said you look like you're from a movie.
I
which is,
really
like,
like
a really-
beanies. I wish
which is
it was
really,
colder
really-
here more often.
Compliment, like I'm like that's really nice, but it makes you think. It's like from one of those teenage shows. It's like yeah, probably like some hipster like I was about to say Let's Be Strange
Let's be straight.
instead of Life is Strange. Like I was thinking like Life is Strange,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
hipster, div. You know,
My
and
sister-
you know, that's what makes. When I think of that, I think of the way I dress stereotypically. I think of Life is Strange. I don't know why. Like maybe I don't, maybe I do, but that's kind of how I see it.
Did you
My
read that they're
sister
making
was
a Life
very
is
excited
Strange bonus episode with the original voice actress? Sorry. But you mentioned
Oh,
Life
that's
is
cool.
Strange and like,
Oh,
she's coming
cool.
back.
Not that.
I actually, I really like
gonna say.
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say real quick on this thing. As an Asian, I feel like you can only go so far from the nerd thing. When people just like look at, I feel like it's a default thing for a lot of Asians, especially in America, where you're just like some form of nerd, and you know, it's hard to break that. Very often, if you see like an Asian that's like different, that's more of like an exception than the norm. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I do get what you mean because I live with 3 Chinese students and one of them dresses in that type of like formal like you would call nerdy like style, and one of them just dresses like a normal person.
Like a normal.
Like for some reason, like it sounds really bad, but for some reason people were like, wow, like people expected like one of them to dress like the one that dresses like really formally. I expected her to dress like that, and I was like, no, people can wear normal clothes,
Pretty much.
you know. Like everyone was just like more kind of surprised, but you know, you wear what the heck you want.
Don't
Yeah,
judge a
they-
book by its
Especially
cover.
at university, you have no obligation to wear like you know a dress code in particular.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting people.
That's
You
for
also
sure.
see a lot of people in pajamas as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I knew a guy
you
that,
do
that
that
wore
here.
pajama bottoms like every day. whenever he went to school.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Fight the power guy.
I mean, listen, you know what?
Why not, you know?
Right?
I mean, it worked for him. He had a really cool, like, kind of laid back style that actually was like pretty endearing. I felt. It was
I
like,
thought you were gonna say something completely different.
Who is?
I have no idea what you could possibly would have thought I was gonna say. Just a dude. I knew that he would wear like pajama bottoms every day.
Sometimes people like it works with them,
Yeah.
but other times it's just I don't even notice most of the time. That like people walk in with like like some super baggy trousers, like MC Hammer trousers, and like people are like, did you notice that they were wearing pajamas? I'm like, no.
No way! What a twist!
Well, this is because like the closer you get to like skinny jeans and yoga pants, the more they just start looking like pajama bottoms anyway.
That's true. It all kind of blurs together at a point.
The line starts to get fuzzy, so it makes sense, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Clothing
going through
is
an update of
interesting.
fashion.
I
do that all the
always
time.
Especially like
Yeah.
joggers are really popular nowadays, and that's pretty much just pajama pants.
Pretty much.
Basically.
Yeah, I know lots of people who wear joggers, including myself, for like lounge
Yeah, I wear them too.
pants. It's I always do like dressing formally sometimes though. Like I had a 5-minute presentation the other day.
Oh, dude,
and
dressing
I dressed
formally
up
is awesome.
Yeah, dressing formally makes you feel like elf.
Like an adult, dude. I feel like whenever I
Feel like you can
I
take
wore a
on
suit the other day, and I'm like,
what you're
yeah.
about to do.
Take
Right,
on the
exactly,
world.
like- well, I did that when I went to do my thing today. What was this thing? My speech. Basically, at the end of every year for your semester, you have to do something. So one of the things I had to do is I had to give a speech, and it worked out really well because I bought a bunch of templates for the presentation for Lego. I a bunch of slideshow templates, PowerPoint templates, and they are super professional. And so all you gotta do is just drag like a picture or two there, and like suddenly you have a really professional thing, and you just have to dress nicely. And my professor, it's I think it's like it's a 70-point assignment, right? He gave me 90 points because he was so impressed.
Wow.
Nice.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Same amount of work.
I'm always worried about using templates, though. I feel like people will tell that it's a template.
Yeah.
And it's,
You would think so. Well, I mean, it's a graphic design class, so I've been doing good graphic design to begin with, and they know that.
especially in a
I
graphic
support
design
the
class.
So like when
enough.
I
I
did
feel
it,
like it's better than doing like those gradients with your favorite colors with like your favorite font.
Oh yeah, gradients are almost
Or, like-
always a bad idea.
Or using like a picture as the background. It's all like blurred out because of the pixels have been stretched. That's always really cringy for me. I'm like, oh, why would you do that?
They used to be. Well, the thing about gradients is that everyone started using them because you couldn't do them before. You know, they're really hard to do. Then computers come along and they make gradients so easy, and everyone's like, "Well, I know what I'm doing," and it became so badly used in so many things. Now people stay away from them entirely.
Look what I can do, gradients, and everyone's like, dude, that looks so cool.
You guys
And
remember
then,
Word
like,
art? Or for Microsoft Word?
Word art? Oh no, I haven't seen that in
Yeah.
many years.
Yeah.
Oh man!
Yeah,
Remember when that
I
was
love
like
the animation.
everyone used word art.
I love the animated gifs on word art. They were gifts to mankind.
Gifts. Nice spin. I like it.
Nice save. Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. I should do that more often.
I always feel like when I dress up formally, I always feel like, I put my turtleneck on, which everybody laughs at me for. My pointed
like a
shoes,
turtleneck.
my
Love that.
pointed boots, and I put on my long trench coat, and then I look in the mirror, and I'm like, I look like I've walked out the Matrix.
That's awesome.
I did get
Spiky hair to the point where I like run everywhere, like I'm just like I'm on a mission.
Yes.
Just everybody kind of like says that to me, and it's hilarious. I love it.
That's
Like, I just
fantastic.
embrace the Matrix look. I need to get some
The one
glasses.
thing about like turtlenecks I like is that they emulate the Steve Jobs look, which I like. I try to
Cool,
have just
mate.
one Steve Jobs like outfit at all times.
Good old
my
Steve.
in my first ever presentation at college, I walked in super nervous. Like I walk in, first thing, one of my mates says is like, "You look like Steve Jobs," and then everyone started calling me Beth Jobs.
that's
I mean, that's kind of a
Jobs.
compliment, but then that's also kind of like, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that.
It's
I
a
don't know if I wanna
compliment.
look like Steve Jobs.
I
kinda
wouldn't
look like he was dying
personally,
towards the
but-
end there.
Oh wow. Well,
Good reason for that.
yeah. It's like funny you should
Rest in
mention.
peace.
Oh, you know, well, he
Yeah,
was,
I know, that's why I was like, it might not necessarily be a compliment to look like that.
I think it was.
he was suffering from a little thing called cancer. So
He's got a very distinctive appearance. I think it was meant to be a compliment.
Do you know what like the story behind
really
that was?
cold.
He was basically like he just hated like choosing what he wore. So he found us a designer in Japan and he said, "Hey, I want you to design." He saw like some other stuff. He's like, "I want you to design a special turtleneck for me." And the guy says, "Okay." And he made a ton of these turtlenecks. And from then on, he was just like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna wear this every day because it's too much. It's too much effort to figure out what I want to wear every day. I'm just gonna get a ton of shirts and a ton of pants that look like this. I'm just gonna wear this in."
If
That's
only
that's
we-
a new level of laziness right there.
If only we could all have the
Listen, man,
resources to do
$1
that.
billion. I mean, Mark
When you have
Zuckerberg
$1 billion,
for the longest time.
you have time to actually choose what you want to wear.
Or you have the resources to not have to do it. It's like, you know, you can spin it.
Yeah.
I feel like
He
that's
became a
what I
cartoon
used to
character.
do. That's what I used to do. I used to get up every day and I used to put on the same turtleneck. I'm joking. I used to put on the same turtleneck, same jeans,
Well, yeah.
boots, and coat every day because
I had that outfit where I'm like, yeah, I look good in this. I want to wear this every day. You know?
good in it. I just liked wearing it because it was comfortable. And then I looked back at those days and I was like, yes.
I get
Nice.
a coat. I got a winter coat, and if you wear a winter coat in
Coat
winter,
for like
it's
3
basically
to 4 years now.
you can't you can get away with all that stuff with a coat. You know, like you can wear whatever because it's like
Yeah, Parkers
It's
are my
under a
favorite.
coat.
I love winter clothing.
Same.
winter
Absolutely
clothing's
love
so
it.
great.
It's the
man.
best.
It's amazing. It's the best part about winter. I hate winter.
I never know what to do when spring rolls around.
You shut
So,
your
like,
mouth.
I don't have
Don't you
any
diss
clothes
winter.
for spring.
Yeah, because all I have is t-shirts and stuff. I actually got rid of all my superhero tees
Really?
Oh, really?
because they were well.
You're not a
they were,
fan anymore? You've forsaken the superhero?
Well, it's not so much of that.
He doesn't
as
want to
much
look
as
so
they're too
nerdy,
big.
dude.
Doesn't want to...
They're too big.
So, one
I'm
of the-
swapping them out for extra small versions, basically, so that they actually look like. But I'm become a lot more picky about the superhero tees I buy now. Like they have to look a certain way. They have to blend in with a certain color scheme, basically. So a lot of my own stuff is gone.
if they look cool, I'll take them. The one issue I have, especially with main brand clothing, I'm not sure if you have New Look over there, but New Look is like a women's / now men's brand, in my age range. And the issue is, when you go in there, the tees look great, the shape looks great, the color looks great. You turn it around, it has something cringy on the front.
Oh no! Not
It's
the cringe.
It's like a picture of Paris and it just says love life, and I'm just like, oh,
Love life,
I
Paris.
love life.
I believe in unicorns. I'm like, no, I don't.
High on life. That's the one I think of whenever I think of cringy
Yeah,
t-shirt
yeah.
sayings.
I hate it. I'm just like, you ruined that shirt. You printed cancer on it.
Harsh.
Oh boy.
They're just trying to be peppy and positive, Phweffie. Come on.
People, it annoys me because it's just so awful, and I see people wear them all the time, and I don't really mind, but I would never imagine myself wearing one of those, without looking in the mirror and going
what have I done to myself?
What have I become? Positivity, try hard.
What have
I'm
we
wearing
become?
something I don't even believe in. That's like wearing a cross around your neck and you don't believe in God.
Yeah.
Maybe
Weird
the cross just
style.
looks really cool, dude.
Maybe
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, you know what? The
Maybe-
Roman's way of dealing
it would
with
have to
criminals
be.
was a
It
really
would have
good.
to be a particular.
That's dark.
Be a particular
got dark.
cross. It would have to be a cross with Jesus on it, and it's all wood and everything. It's really specially made.
Oh, right.
It's not just a cross because loads of people just wear that anyway. But it's somebody who dresses like very Jesus centric, but doesn't actually believe in God. Why are you doing
Alright.
this to yourself?
I don't
No,
know.
I get you. It's like one of those shirts that's WWJD, but imagine Richard Dawkins, or Neil deGrasse Tyson going around with the WWJD
Yeah,
on the
if
shirt,
somebody wears a
necklace and
band
everything. I get you. I get what you're saying.
shirt and they've never listened to that, I get it. I can listen
Oh,
to
but some of the
two
band's
songs.
t-shirts just have good art, Phweffie.
Yeah. Embrace the artwork.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you mean. Like, some of their songs be like, yeah, that's great. And you can wear it, like, but there's some people who just, like, I mean, it's kind of hard, because I do get what you mean. Like, some of the art is just so sick. And then, like, people who think if you wear a shirt, you know everything about them. And I also don't agree with that either. But at the same time...
I remember being quizzed on a band because, like, actually, no, I wasn't even wearing a shirt. Some guy just, like, literally asked me, like, hey, do you like this band? And I'm like, yeah, okay, I guess. And he, like, started quizzing me on every song, and I'm like, Dude, I listen to albums. I don't listen to individual tracks.
You just got, like, that was the experience of every girl in a comic convention.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you like comics? Oh, what happened in this issue? You know, of like
I just said I like this band. I never claimed to be a mega fan.
I'm just wearing a t-shirt, buddy.
Yeah,
I just got the bat logo. That's it. Right? I've seen a movie.
So, honestly, like, I can't really say I mind what people wear. It's just for me, like, it has to have some form of meaning to it, or, like, I have to somewhat understand the reference. Otherwise, I kind of, like, lose sleep over it. Especially when I went to a festival and someone started laughing at my shirt, and I thought it said college something, but it actually said chocolate. And I was like, why did I pick up this shirt?
What?
What did it say? No. Okay, hold up.
It said, I've got it. Let me go get it.
Please do. I think
Snapchat it.
let's play Guess Phweff's shirt description. I think it's a chocolate train, so it's like chocolate, like chocolate, like a train.
Okay, she said she thought it said college, right? So it's got to say something. It's got to be something to do with like
chocolate.
It just sounds so bad. Okay. Let's see. So I didn't read the top. It says. I've always said chocolate college, okay? It says chocolate college.
Chocolate? Oh.
My friends were laughing at me and I didn't realise because I read the thing wrong when I picked it up and I was so humiliated through the entire day. They kept laughing at me. They were like,
oh, that's kind of it. Brought a smile to your friends.
They laughed at me even more because I said I didn't even know it said that on there. They were like, you didn't even read the shirt? And I was like, it was at a charity shop, stop laughing at me!
Fantastic.
And they're like, a charity shop?
That's great, that's funny.
Hey, charity
Poverty,
shops are great.
systematic inequality of income.
I have freaking found, like, River Island stuff, which is, like, high-end stuff at charity shops. Like, for about £5 when they'd originally be like £35. So, I don't know, you can laugh at me all you want, but, like, this is just a kind of dud mistake out of all the good things that I've got from charity shops.
I want to get this shirt, guys.
Listen, Goodwill has some good stuff, man.
Check this out.
I've never shop at Goodwill more often. Any of the there's a better thrift store called Plato's Closet around here, but they just rarely have extra small stuff, which is why I don't always go there.
Fair enough.
You gotta get that.
I'm
what's in now. You gotta
to like be a normal size, so I just go in and just see what I like.
You know, I feel like setting fashion is something that for braver people than I am. I just like follow whatever it is. If people are like, oh, this is. You know,
the problem with following fashion is that it keeps changing directions, and you have to swerve. One day you're gonna drive up the side of the fashion highway, and then what's that?
Also, another thing: clothes are expensive.
They are.
I've had the same clothes for like the past 2 years now, and I'm like, I really want new clothes, but I don't want to spend money on buying new clothes.
You gotta buy the opposite, depending on the weather. So like right now is the best time to get like summer clothes, and then when the summer hits around, then you buy your winter stuff because that's when it's on sale. I have a friend who like has all the dates for everything planned out, and sometimes he'll hit me up and be like, "Hey, you want to go to this place because it's this thing's cheap?" And I'm like, "Yeah, thank you, I'll go." And that's where I get
I always get like those. Do you ever get those kind of? I call them like dreams of materialism, like where you have a dream like you win the lottery or something, and you just go around all the shops, and you buy everything you want.
I can honestly say I have not had a dream like that, but I wish I had.
Usually happens when I walk in a store. I see something I like, and I just imagine walking into that store and having like just too much cash, and I just go in there, and I go at one side of the store, and I do a clean sweep of what I want. By the end, I'm just bags and bags of clothes. And I'll never have to worry about wearing the same thing over and over again. And
I've always wanted the. I'm sorry, I don't want you finish. I thought you were done.
Just gonna say, like, just end it at that. Just kind of have that many options to just really experiment. Because that was my main issue during my entire, like, basically teenage life. Even though my mum would offer to buy me clothes, I wouldn't want to in case I didn't like it. Like, I didn't like it on me. And my mum was like, oh, will you wear this one? This one looks really nice. I'm like, no, just get me jeans and a shirt. Like, I don't trust myself.
Nice.
I don't want to wear anything like that. Now I'm starting to, like, really want to kind of jump in and experiment with different clothes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm a poor student.
Poverty.
Equality. Our nation is divided. The rich
Eating-
control.
I've been eating I've been eating ATP broccoli bacon from Aldi for the past like 2 weeks.
Did you ever like become a master at cooking
With no
broccoli?
gravy.
Because I remember when you were first trying to do it. It was-
Yeah, Meso was talking to me when I was cooking broccoli and I undercooked it and it was like eating rocks.
What about now? You're gonna become a master broccoli steamer.
I'm a master broccoli steamer. Like, it is just the best broccoli. I'll sit there and I'll nod my head as I eat it and I'll like
yeah.
fist pump the air. I'm like, vitamins!
Yeah.
Do you
Dude,
you make
I
any
like
sauce
cooking.
with the broccoli?
It's just broccoli.
Interesting. Interesting.
Broccoli and
Because-
bacon.
I usually
I-
do
Yeah,
broccoli straight. Yeah.
Oh, bacon.
My mom would like. She would always make it with like a lot of sauces.
Gravy. Yeah, that's what
yeah.
normal
Not really
people.
gravy, more like Chinese. Like there's the soy sauce and there's other.
You know,
like,
your
spices
type
and
of
stuff
sauce, yeah.
going. Yeah, my type of sauce.
I actually
My-
tried. I tried Chinese food for the first time like 3 months ago. No, 2 months ago.
Oh yeah.
Phweffie, are you mean to tell me you've never had Chinese food and that you were over here in the U.S. and we could have taken you to get Chinese food for the first time? And because
Even if you had offered me, I would be too scared in case I didn't like it.
It was also really
Like-
expensive. I wanted to go to
I
I wanted to go to a Chinese place.
Exactly.
There was one like right nearby the expo center. It was just really expensive.
There's
Yeah, but you need to go to a
there's
good-
so much.
Wait, hold up. Have you ever had sushi?
Nope.
I've had sushi, but it
I'm
was
the
a long
only one who
time
hasn't
ago.
had sushi, yeah.
I might try it again. I really want to go to this restaurant where it's called Cosmos, and I'm not sure if it's in all of the UK or if it's just in the south or in the middle south. But you can get stuff from English, like British culture. You can get stuff from like American culture, and you can get stuff from you can get Indian food, Chinese food, and you can have
So you
them
can get a
all on
burger.
plate.
Nice.
Basically American culture.
If you're a sociopath, you can just go straight to the dessert aisle and not eat anything savory because it's an
Oh,
all-you-can-eat
dude,
buffet.
that's me.
Is that you, dude? Oh man, I love savory
Oh,
more than I like sweet.
wait,
Honestly.
No, I love. To be fair, I do love savory. I think sweet actually can be too sweet for me a lot of the time.
yeah,
Sweet.
yeah, a lot of
Agreed.
the time.
Yeah.
I've actually given up on chocolate ice cream. It's too sweet for me.
Same. I've never been
I
into
just
like.
can't do it anymore.
I can't eat a lot of chocolate. Like people
I
like
can eat a lot
fudge
of
and like
chocolate.
chocolate ice cream. It's
I,
just too much.
Yeah, I've never really been big on
Too
chocolate.
much.
I'm
I
big on
like ice
chocolate
cream.
and like peanut butter. It's like
But-
sweet. And
I hate
savory.
peanut butter.
What are you?
I feel bad for anyone that
Not
hates
human.
peanut butter and or is allergic to it because I freaking love peanut butter.
I love peanut butter to death. It's
Yeah, I
amazing.
love
peanut
Peanut
butter.
Anything is good.
For me, it's chocolate spread. Chocolate spread is just the bay.
Wow. Did you have the chocolate and peanut butter Cheerios that just came out? Have we tried that
No.
yet? They-
I actually
they
did
bring
want to
them
try
your house?
those, but they're nowhere near me.
Oh, dude, they're so.
I've
good.
heard they're very good.
Meso,
I think I
Listen,
remember you
once you
bringing it
move-
over, but I never tried it.
Meso, once you move, I'll bring a box over. We'll have breakfast.
Incredible.
And you can taste the magic that is chocolate and peanut. I know
Better
you,
be good,
I know
man.
you hate it, but
Surely it
It's
can't be
amazing,
like
dude.
that much better than any other chocolate peanut butter cereal.
People are raving about it, dude. People are.
people
Yeah.
are raving about it. I
Ah,
love it, dude.
bah,
It's
but-
better.
I bet people are raving about it.
I like
Peanut
the
butter,
older,
people just lose their minds over it. And Nutella,
the old peanut butter Cheerios. Yeah, Nutella as well. Old peanut butter Cheerios were like actually really good because that they didn't have any like of the dust on them. That's the thing I don't like about the chocolate peanut butter Cheerios, that they have a bit of the dust. The old peanut butter just tastes like peanut butter Cheerios, and they were phenomenal. They were great.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. What can you do?
What is your favorite cereal?
Right now, it's the chocolate.
When I was younger, I liked Lucky Charms.
I like
Lucky Charms are great.
I like Frosties. I like Frosties, Cocoa Puffs, and Fruit Loops. Fruit Loops are so good. I miss eating Fruit Loops. My dad used to buy them all the time.
Go get some. Just do it.
I actually had an experience with Lucky Charms not too long ago, where my cafeteria they have like they have the cereal dispenser, and one time whatever reason the Lucky Charm one broke and it flowed out. I mean, it's not onto the floor, but there's like a tray that they have to catch all the cereal. It's kind of like a bowl basically. That you put your own bowl in, to do, and it just all filled that area, like up. And so I walked over to it, and like as soon as it happened, I'm in the line. I walk over to it, and I just start picking out the marshmallows and just like tossing them directly into my bowl. And this girl behind me was like glaring at me. I was like, "Listen,
Unlucky Charms.
You do the same thing." And I think
except she wouldn't because she didn't. Apparently,
I know. I think she did. I'm not actually sure. I didn't check. Everyone's gonna like.
Wow! How do you know that? You're just accusing her.
You're just saying things. It may or may not be true.
I'm just making myself look better. Sure.
Healthy breakfast. I do like I do like porridge. Like porridge is something.
Yeah,
porridge
I get porridge.
I used to hate when I was a kid porridge because my grandparents used to make it for me all the time, and I said all the time that I didn't like it, and they would always try and convince me by putting loads of sugar in and things like that. But I just didn't like the texture. Like the texture was gross.
Wait. Are you talking about oatmeal?
Yeah, I mean
porridge.
Porridge and oatmeal are slightly different, but they're pretty much the same thing.
Yeah. Well,
I've never had pure
milk
porridge,
and
but, I've
whatever
had
you want else with it.
Pretty similar.
I've had porridge, but it was always savory. We'd always put different sauces and stuff to make it savory kind of.
Golden syrup in porridge. You can put sugar in. You can put jam in porridge. I put jam in porridge a couple times. Ever since my brother put jam in my porridge.
Grits porridge is like that?
I don't think so. That's very.
It's not the same thing.
It's similar in texture, but it's different. One's corn.
I don't think I've ever had savory porridge before. I've had grits, and that's typically savory.
Yeah. Okay. I might have been along the lines of grits. Yeah. But
I don't really like I don't actually like the branded Cocoa Pops, by the way. Somebody posted, I actually like the off-brand ones you get from Tesco or Sainsbury's. I don't know why they always taste better. I don't know, Cocoa Pops, they're really airy on the inside and they crumble a lot. I don't know why.
Yeah. My thing with
taste is good. I don't know why. It doesn't make sense, because you're getting more for your money, but you're not because they don't taste as good.
Yeah.
I don't like Cocoa Pops and
Cocoa Puffos or something.
Cocoa Pebbles is what we have, or what I'm used to eating, and I don't like Cocoa Pebbles because they get soggy way too fast. I can't stand cereal. I can't stand cereal that gets soggy too quickly.
That's why I've stopped eating cereal as the years go on. It's just such a tightrope you gotta walk when you eat it. It's you leave it sit for too long. It's disgusting. Yeah, if you don't leave it sit.
I'm a bit of a monster. I eat my cereal dry.
I'm with you. I do that as well.
Are you with me? Okay, all right.
I mean, I get you, but
if there's a good cereal,
I much prefer it with milk.
I've got a
I gotta make a very small bowl.
Question.
What's your question?
Do you put the cereal in first, or do you put the milk in first?
Cereal first.
Who the heck puts
cereal?
Milk
I put the cereal in.
Milk.
Yeah, but we're all on the same page.
No, maybe not. Right? Do you put the milk in first?
No, I said I put the cereal in first.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, alright, so we're all on the same page.
Only crazy people would put the milk in first.
You have a bowl of liquid and you're throwing a bunch of little rocks.
Yeah, you're just throwing stuff on
It
top of it.
just
It's
makes
gonna float.
It's gonna splash.
You'll float too.
It'll splash. It'll float. You're not gonna get full coverage like you would if you just poured milk onto
Full
the cereal.
coverage.
Yeah,
you will find every bit of cereal.
You want your cereal to get soggy equally. You don't want the bottom layer to get soggy before the top layer. Because then you're gonna eat the top layer first, and then you're gonna get to the gross soggy bottom layer.
Especially with Cocoa Pops, I always eating the Cocoa Pops, but long enough until the milk becomes chocolatey, and then drink the chocolate milk.
That's true.
This is a bad podcast to be on while hungry.
It's still... Shut up, Meso!
It's actually,
Cereal!
mentioned putting cereal in a bowl and then having milk on the side. That's not a terrible idea.
Very
I've never
interesting.
done that before. That's not a bad
It's like
idea.
Chase eats bite down.
Yeah, like Chase eats bite down. That's not bad. I can see that being good.
I'm sorry, what? Chase eats bite down?
Chase each bite down. So yeah, like you eat a bite and then you take a swig of like milk.
Alright.
That way it would
Yeah, I don't
mitigate
like
the
milk.
whole like tightrope thing. You don't like?
I don't like drinking
Then your
actual milk.
cereal doesn't ever sog up.
Interesting. Huh. Kind of like dipping an Oreo into like your milk, so it's right before you eat
Like,
it. So that
I've
the Oreo
never
gets
done that.
Really?
I've never
I've
done...
never
Yeah,
done-
because I don't like milk. I don't like plain milk.
What? Okay. I feel like this is actually pretty common. I think a lot of people don't like milk.
Yeah.
I love milk. I think milk's great.
I'm not a
Loving milk
I don't
as a
hate milk, I
child,
don't
like
love
I would dance for milk, but now I'm just like I would die if I had to.
I'm sorry,
live
you
with
you do what for milk? You would
Milk.
dance?
Yeah.
Tell me, wait, so this, all right, I'm gonna
Tell me.
Share with us Phweffe's dancing story.
You are, your parents are like, hey,
Somebody
you know,
told
Phweffie,
me.
you want some
I
milk?
know where you're spinning on this. I know where you're trying to spin on this. That's not what I meant.
I'm not trying to spin anything. I'm like, did your
Don't.
parents ask you to dance before you?
No.
They're like,
My parents would tell me your milk is ready, and I would dance.
okay,
Happiness.
that's better.
Oh,
That's better.
adorable.
Duh.
I also used to call it mix instead of milk. I was a child.
Make a mixtape.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I
I love the idea of like your parents like holding a glass of milk like
Yeah,
above where you
dance for the milk.
Dance for me, monkey, dance. Entertain me. Only then will
Your
you
bones will
receive
go
your
weak
milk.
and wither without the nutritions of this milk. Dance before me, monkey.
dance for the milk.
Yeah.
Man.
All right.
Well, all right.
I've always really liked Captain Crunch. I'm apparently a weird person though, because apparently not a lot of people like that cereal. But I always loved
Never
that
had it.
cereal.
I like the peanut butter one better. To be fair.
No, I like the normal, just straight up Captain Crunch. Freaking delicious.
I
stuff.
agree with Prentice. Plain milk is only good when it's mixed with other stuff.
Oh no, I can't.
Like, for
I hate
example-
mixed milk. I can't. Chocolate milk is disgusting. Strawberry
What
milk is
about-
disgusting.
Why?
Yeah, I hated it.
You don't like milkshakes?
Milkshakes are good. Okay, milkshakes are fine, but that's different. That's different.
Yeah,
for me.
I like milkshakes.
I love
like,
milkshakes an unhealthy amount. Milkshakes are my jam.
Yeah. I personally like chocolate milk better than strawberry. Simply because like sometimes like you'll get like that one off strawberry milk and it tastes like
Yeah, I get you.
dirt. Like it just tastes
I
like
have.
nothing
okay, yeah,
worse
yeah,
than
you were
off
absolutely
milk.
right.
And
Strawberry has like it's got a tendency to either be good or bad, but there's a lot of variation depending on what brand
Right.
you get and who you're going with. Chocolate is pretty much universal in taste.
Yeah, chocolate.
Yeah,
I feel
drunk
chocolate is
a
good.
lot of
Strawberry.
You know what
Or
you're
when
getting
you-
with chocolate.
Chocolate.
taste the it's almost you can like taste like the offness of the milk more if like not saying that all chocolate milk is off and we can't taste it, but like there's a certain like threshold of strawberry and milk that needs to be like kind of balanced. Otherwise, if there's too much milk, it tastes like garbage. Like it just tastes like it's off. Like I don't know if anyone else gets that or if it's just me being weird, but yeah, ever since like I drunk off milk by accident, I've been really like paranoid about it. Like every time like it's on the like today, I opened the fridge to make a coffee before I went on the podcast today, and it was December the 1st, the milk. I will not touch that milk. Because I'm like, the chance of that being off and ruining my coffee is just too much of a horrific thought for me. And I'm just like, I'm just gonna open the milk.
Milk's
the
more
milk.
problems than it's worth.
I mean, I don't think like the expiration date is a best buy date, so I don't think it's like
It doesn't necessarily mean it's
Yeah,
But
sometimes
that
you'll
being
get
said,
milk
there
that
is
will
a
last
chance
like a
it's
week
the
after.
taste
But then sometimes you'll get a milk that will like go off like a day before the best buy date, which that's actually happened. Like I poured some milk into my coffee, and then bits of like coagulated milk just came up to the top.
Oh, that's gross. I've never had milk that's been that old before. Like I've usually finished it or it's gone before it coagulates.
That's a disgusting word.
It is a gross word. It's a very gross word.
When your blood clots, it coagulates, it like sticks together.
Have you ever seen cheese being made? It's kind of like they just take the coagulation.
No, cheese is disgusting.
Yeah.
I
love
don't
cheese.
like
Wait a second.
No,
Whoa.
I love
Conceptually, it's disgusting.
But if you actually think about what cheese is, it's disgusting. It's gross.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I get you.
The fact that there are cheese types that people will say are enhanced by the amount of mold on it should tell you that it's disgusting.
That's fair.
I'm gonna go back to eating no cheese pizzas like I used to.
I do like mozzarella. Like, mozzarella
Same.
is the one cheese I will just love above all.
And mozzarella is very much coagulated when they make it.
Because it tastes good.
It's very gross.
Still good.
But it does
Other
taste
cheeses,
good.
you can tell how strong the taste of cheese is. It just reminds me that it's basically moldy milk.
That's pretty much it.
I don't want to have this conversation anymore.
Don't ruin cheese for me.
Like, I do like
always gonna eat
cheese, but it has. Oh, that looks so good. I want some McDonald's right now, and I want some mozzarella sticks.
Wait. Does your McDonald's have mozzarella sticks?
I've never ordered them. I've seen them.
At McDonald's?
That's crazy.
Burger King has them. Wendy's
know
I'm
has
sure some fast food restaurant has them that I do remember.
I think so.
Maybe it's Domino's that I'm thinking of.
International McDonald's have all sorts of crazy stuff on the menu.
Yeah.
They do,
International
yeah.
McDonald's are interesting. I really want to just try
in
different.
European McDonald's, you can get beer. Like, because when I went to Berlin, they had beer on the menu.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Germany's
Did you
a
have
cool
beer in
place.
Germany when you were
That's
16?
nice for Germany,
Yeah,
but it doesn't matter.
Oh,
I feel like America's like the one place where we're much tighter on the beer regulations. So it
That's
doesn't
'cause of the
surprise me.
prohibition.
It doesn't surprise me that you'd have it in normal menus there.
yeah.
We basically, like, the prohibition changed a lot of things for American society, like treatment of alcohol versus other cultures. And so, like, and you know, even though we came off that eventually, and you know, I think, you know, it's across the U.S. it is 21. You have to be 21 in order to purchase alcohol. But like, it changed how society perceives alcohol as this thing, and then overseas it's not that at all. So it's interesting too, because like in olden days, we were talking about this on BrickFeed actually.
Hey.
A lot of the people drank alcohol back in the day just because it didn't spoil. It was way harder to spoil, and you had a lot of germs in like stuff like milk. Because until pasteurization was complete, they didn't know how to make sure that germs were completely gone from milk. Water was perilous because water could come from any source. It could come from a stream, it could come from different things, and sometimes the fresh water wasn't as fresh. It contained a lot of germs and stuff in it. So beer was good because it didn't spoil, and you could keep it for long periods of time.
It's
And if
like
you want to
beer,
hear the rest of that
especially beer, was,
discussion,
like,
go watch
easier.
BrickFeed.
Nice try.
Nice try, Meso.
Call myself.
I try.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I was going to say also beer is easier to make because the actual the production of beer requires yeast, which is easier to get. Than,
Takes less time too, I think, right?
I think so.
Other
yeah, I
alcohol.
think so. It ferments way quicker. It's basically like you take like yeast from bread and you literally just like you use that to ferment into beer.
Mm-hmm. Interesting thing there.
Science.
Anyway, kids, I hope you guys enjoyed our conversation about alcoholic beverages.
Don't do it.
Milk. And milk. We
Drink
talked about milk and
responsibly.
alcoholic beverages.
Drink the milk,
We're just
kids.
talking about Kool-Aid.
Strong bones.
We can drink that Kool-Aid.
Yes.
Have you ever, you ever tried Kool-Aid past that point, or was that the only type of Kool-Aid you've ever had? Was the Kool-Aid without sugar?
Oh, I had it. I went back to America a month after I went to go visit you guys, and this lady that we stayed with made the best Kool-Aid. Like
Nice.
I was like, this is the nicest Kool-Aid. If I were to become a cult of the in the Kool-Aid cult, I would drink this.
Did you even put sugar in that Kool-Aid that you had?
Not at first.
Eventually.
I thought it already had sugar in it.
No. Okay, yeah.
No.
'Cause you really got You got to like mix that properly for that to be good.
It was
Literally,
just flavored
I put
water.
an
That's what it
iceberg of
was.
sugar. I put an iceberg of sugar. To be honest, it was nicer when I put Red Bull in it.
Yeah.
That was such a great video. I love that video to death.
I like Red Bull.
I know we're.
I look back now. I'm just like, man, I was so zonked.
We are getting close to wrap it up, John. What do you have to add?
I did have one question I wanted to ask Phweffie, because I know Phweffie, out of all of his, suffers from something called superhero fatigue. It's unrelated to our conversation, but have you seen, Phweffie, the new Avengers Infinity War trailer, and what did you think about it?
I've seen it. I have seen the trailer, just because...
How could you not?
Infinity War is one of those movies where it's just like, everything... It's gonna be a spectacle. And I will watch it because it's going to be a spectacle. Like, all these stars, all these people are going to be coming together and making this movie. And I will watch that because that is worth kind of looking at the spectacle. It's kind of like why people watch Michael Bay. Like, I mean, not saying that Marvel is as bad as Michael Bay. I want to see it for the spectacle, except Marvel has a little bit more respect for their audience than
Respectacle.
Michael Bay does.
Sorry.
Oh, man.
I liked the trailer. It wasn't anything like memorable, but I did like the trailer. Like, I was just like, it's what I expected from it.
I was actually disappointed by the trailer.
I feel like they were very careful in what they showed.
Yeah, I was underwhelmed, I think is a better way to put it, not disappointed.
Yeah,
it didn't really show me anything that I wasn't expecting to see already, or had already seen due to leaked footage, or like snippets posted elsewhere. So.
The leaked trailer was a big thing. It was very, very similar to the leaked trailer in a lot of ways. Not exactly.
When anything's a big hype, like with Marvel, this has been a thing for like years now. Like, we saw that timeline and we saw Infinity War and we all thought, man, that's so far away. Now we're here, and now we're all hyped over these years. It's kind of like the destiny of movies.
Don't say that.
Makes
Destiny underwhelmed.
Exactly. Exactly. Like, I feel like a lot of people will be disappointed with the movie because they built it up as this end-all, like, be-all.
Yeah, there's no way it can live up to
it's
that.
not going to be.
I think it is very interesting because there's a lot of hype surrounding Infinity War to the point where a lot of people actually forget there's still Avengers 4.
Right, that doesn't have a name.
The marketing for this movie is and Avengers 4 is very interesting. Currently, I don't like it, but it's going to depend on what Avengers 4 is. I feel like the general audience would get it better if it was still Part 1 and Part 2. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
But if they're Part 4, if Avengers 4 has a really surprising curveball that hits us, that isn't just Part 2 of the Infinity Gauntlet story, then I'm down for it.
I don't know what would be surprising about that title. That's the thing. I've tried to think about the title that they could have for the fourth one that would literally blow my mind. And there's only one title they could have based on one comic that would never happen, and that's why I'm like, that's the only thing that would blow my mind if they did.
Well, I don't think it's a title that's going to blow anyone's minds. I think they literally have a title that would spoil the ending to this movie. That's why they don't want to do it.
I mean, that's the same thing though. And I can't see what's going.
Var had an idea.
Avengers Disassembled.
Yeah.
Well, I know you had a new idea. However, if you remember, Kevin Feige said that this is going to be a finale, and it would be very weird.
Yeah, are you sure that he said that about the fourth one?
Yes, I'm sure. He says Avengers 4 will provide what no other superhero movie has done, a finale. Like, he called out Avengers 4, not Infinity War.
Okay.
They're building towards that. So, it was in the Variety article.
Yeah.
There
I want to see it with some friends of mine. I think it would be a really good movie to watch with somebody.
There's one the one title that they could have that would just completely blow my mind is JLA Avengers, which is a comic series made in the early 2000s, but they crossed over to Justice League and the Avengers. Only one that I would be like I can't handle that. That's too much. You're ever gonna get
JLA Avengers.
I guess that's true. If the fourth one's the finale, then I'm not sure. It really depends, because I'm actually kind of surprised, because I've been reading reactions from people on different superhero communities forums and stuff, and like I was looking at a lot of people like speculating what's going to happen. I'm actually surprised at how safe everyone is taking it with their predictions. Like a lot of people, like there was a topic like saying that who's going to die in Infinity War or whatever.
Yes.
And like a lot of posts were just mentioning one person, and it would like War Machine, you know, or like Bucky, and I'm like,
I guarantee it will be more than one
Really?
person, and it will not be those people.
yeah, I guarantee that it's going to be one of the original 4. I imagine that a lot of people are thinking.
I'm shocked, but I would be shocked if they kill. But at the same time, I could. It's not out of their league for that to happen. So
Prentice asks, could people die and then they'll get revived with the time gem?
I don't think they do that.
I do not think they would either. That would be incredibly cheap.
Yeah,
It would be cheap, and I don't think Feige would let that happen.
yeah.
I feel like he
They've built
understands
this
that.
finale too much for it to.
Right.
to be cheap and
Vision is the
effective.
only one who I see being revived.
Yes,
after his
I think
death.
Vision will be revived. I think he's going to have to die no matter what to get the stone out of his head.
Yes.
Right.
But he's going to come back. He's not going to be gone.
Well, I mean, he is still the AI. He is still Jarvis deep down.
Yeah,
like,
he's still
somewhere.
Jarvis.
You know, he still was an intelligence before the inclusion of the Mind Stone. So I feel like there is a shot in the trailer of.
What
the
if
genie-
Tony suits
Vision.
up and like Vision goes in his suit just like old
Dude, I think
times?
Tony's
and, like,
dead, man.
No, I think he is too. But like,
I
I know,
am
like,
placing
oh,
bets.
Vision-
I think Tony
I
is
think-
not
I think-
surviving this movie.
remember. Did you guys remember that scene at the start of Avengers 2 where like they're all in space, like dead?
Yeah.
yes.
Well,
I'm
see, that's why.
imagining, like-
That's why it depends on what the net like Avengers 4 is, because I think personally that a lot of people are going to die in this movie, and it's not.
Same.
They're not. I don't think they're going to save the deaths for the second movie. I think they're going to do it all in the first movie, and the whole point of the second movie is to like build up a new force to combat this like thing, because we lost the people that I don't know. I just feel like they're focusing a lot on the concept of these guys were established. I mean, they say it in the trailer, right? These guys were established to fight when no one else could fight, or whatever the quote is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fight the battles.
Fight the battles, exactly. And this is an instance where they fight the battle, lose the battle. We need a new team to fight the battle for these people who couldn't fight the battle.
And that's where
Like,
the defenders come in. No, I'm
it's the same concept, but I think it's about carrying the legacy on. And I think, especially with everybody's contracts ending, we know that's a thing. We know that some might renew their contracts. Most of them will not be. I guarantee that. They might do cameos, but I don't think they're going to sign on for more movies.
No, definitely not.
So I just think,
Well, except for, I do think that from what we've been hearing, I do think there's future for Chris Hemsworth and Mark Ruffalo.
yes.
Yes.
Hulk is the
Taika
one
Waititi.
character that I think is completely safe.
Mhm.
I don't think they're going to kill off Hulk. They might kill
Yeah.
off Bruce Banner in the sense that he might not turn back into Bruce Banner. He might stay perma Hulk.
That is true.
I think the main two, Chris Evans or Robert Downey Jr. I think that one of
I think
them.
they're both screwed.
Both dead.
I think
They're
they're
both
I think
dead.
they're both gone.
I definitely know that like Chris Evans's contract has been like very much like ending
Yeah.
A
for
long
while
time.
now.
Chris
They
Evans
stopped
has,
talking about it too.
yeah, Chris Evans has also been like he clearly likes being Captain America, but he's also been kind of vocal about not really enjoying having to keep up with the Marvel thing before in interviews. Where he, like,
Like when it's like the whole Harry Potter syndrome, isn't it? Like once you're cast as a big role like that, everybody's like, oh, that's the Captain America in like another movie.
Yeah.
Good old
like it's a big
typecast.
I get
responsibility
that.
too. Like the difference between RDJ, right, and Chris Evans is that Tony Stark can get away with not being in shape. Like he's kind of just a dude. He's got average physique, but Chris Evans has to maintain his ridiculous
Super soldier.
super soldier persona, and like that's like all year constantly training and exercising and maintaining that body to be in a movie and
And,
film for like 4 months out of the year.
Someone
So-
who's been going to the gym like for 2 weeks now, that is hard. Like
yeah, it's very hard.
because you got to
That's right.
push yourself every single time, and so it's like you feel like you're on the verge of death every single time you come out the gym.
Yeah.
The movie people who do like the superhero films, their workout routine is specifically honed. It's like one of the best workout routines you can do, better than The Biggest Loser, better than everything, because it is built to make you suitable to be in a superhero movie for as long as you can be in a superhero movie, basically.
Yep.
You know, so they all the diet and all the stuff you do, all the weight loss, everything, that's to keep you at that
As
optimum
long
level
as
to get it done.
possible.
And I do think you're right, Brian, that Chris Evans is like, it's not that he hates playing the character, but all the stuff that goes into being that character.
Yeah.
It's what's exhausting, you know?
Being a
Yeah.
parent.
I think those
So
are the two
I-
whose deaths would have the most emotional impact as well.
Same.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Um,
they would both. I feel like it would be cool if they could foreshadow like that whole thing with Tony, like in Avengers 2. That was the most memorable thing about that movie, was that scene where like he has like that kind of premonition where everybody's dead. And I kind of felt for Iron Man in that movie.
So I think I personally I think they're definitely gonna kill off Tony Stark. And I think Cap I think he could either die or he's gonna retire or something. But I think his career at being a superhero is definitely over by the end of these movies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm staying pretty optimistic about like the whole death thing, because last time I tuned into a series, like it was the End series, and I was like, oh man, so many people are gonna die. Like, you know, I was just like ready. I was ready for that moment. I was emotionally prepared. And then when it finally came, only like one person died.
Talk
Like,
about Game of
and it
Thrones.
it's a Gizwar.
Ah.
Okay.
I prepared myself. I was like, loads of people are gonna die, and I'm gonna be really upset. And then hardly nobody died.
Right.
Marvel will commit. People accuse them all the time of
not.
not having any stakes and not committing to things. This is their time to commit. This is the end of the series.
Okay, people talk about that all the time. That's just a slow burn thing. Marvel looks long term at what they're doing. They're not gonna. They don't like to cheapen their stuff just for the meanwhile. That's what makes them so viable as a long term series, basically long term franchise like that. But the thing too, I would say with Marvel is that they also, you don't hear anymore about how many movies someone signed up for. You know that? We don't hear how many movies Benedict Cumberbatch has signed on, or Chadwick Boseman. We know they're going to do more movies. We don't even know how much the Guardians are signed for. We used to hear that all the time. Nick Fury signed for 9 movies, yada yada.
Right.
And I think it's because they've created new contracts, now knowing it's a long-term thing, that like allows for a bit more leeway into how long. They don't have like the, okay, 6 movies and you're done. You are in this for the long run, I feel. And there's a new Trinity kind of being built. Right now the Trinity is Captain America, Iron Man, Thor.
Yep.
I do think they're going to transition into a Black Panther, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, and or Black Panther, Captain Marvel, and Spider-Man kind of.
I think the only reason Spider-Man, I think Spider-Man will definitely be a part of the new MCU, but his position is still up in the air because of the Sony deal. Yeah,
all
it's
his
the Sony
villains
deal
are
that's
being
really
taken.
And I honestly, I am still holding out for the Fantastic Four, and I do feel like there is progress being made on that. Honestly, like we hear like rumors of talks happening back and forth, but I don't think Marvel's
They're
getting
back
out
on.
and getting the rights back.
Apparently,
Yeah.
And I again,
The official
with
word
Fox-
is that it's back on. Yeah.
With Fox, they have tried 3 times at Fantastic Four and failed. I can see why they want to hold on to X-Men, because that's still a cash cow for them. But I can see them being like, you know what? Sure, give us some money, we'll give you back Fantastic Four, because no matter what we do, we're just not able to do anything with it. You know?
did you hear that Sony's making a movie based on Morbius, the living vampire, for the Spider-Man
There's a-
villain?
I want Sony to stop.
Sony is the kid on the playground that's like, oh yeah, well my dad has like 3 sports cars and he has a mansion and he can beat up your dad, and you're like, okay man,
Whatever, kid.
Super try hard.
you can do that. They're really trying to like, no guys, we have a universe.
We have a
guys, and we
Spidey
don't
universe.
We don't need Marvel.
We don't need
Marvel.
Spider-Man.
We can do everything. Black Cat and Silver Sable. That's the feminist movie everyone really wants. Same thing with Venom. Everyone wants Venom. You guys want Venom? I want Venom. You guys want Mobius? You like Twilight? Imagine Twilight had Spider-Man in it. That's what I'm thinking. Mobius the living vampire. That's Amy Pascal was just like throwing stuff at the wall, hoping
But yeah.
something sticks.
That's what I mean.
Overall, good trailer. It was
a good trailer.
hype-inducing.
That's why I think everyone's gonna die. It's because like we know MCU 1 is over with. MCU 2 is coming in.
Yes.
So that's.
And I do feel like the trailer was a slight bit, I wouldn't say like underwhelming. It got me sufficiently hyped, but they did not show a lot. I hope they continue with that. This is one movie. I recall a comment made somewhere. I can't source it, so forgive me. I swear I'm not lying. I think Kevin Feige said that they weren't going to show off any footage from the third act of the movie in order to preserve
I would love
secrecy.
That would be amazing.
And combined with the D23 footage and this, if none of that is really from the third act of the movie, then that's pretty crazy.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
The Russos did say something interesting too. The first thing with what was Feige saying about not showing the third act, they're also not actually giving the actors scripts. For the first time, they're not giving the actors scripts for the movie.
Or Tom Holland.
Or Tom Holland, right?
Have you guys watched that interview?
Joke?
It's the funniest interview.
I have. Have you seen that thing where he leaked, quote unquote, the Avengers poster?
Yeah.
That Mark Ruffalo sent him. But
I had never seen the full interview with Tom Holland. I only saw the snippet where Benedict Cumberbatch is like, "I'll answer that question" when they press Tom Holland. But later on in the interview, they keep like kind of stopping Tom from talking, and Anthony Mackie actually walks in. It's like, "Oh, you're babysitting Tom again. I see." Don't worry, this is the last interview
like,
you have to be in with him.
Yeah, Maggie's like, "We'll switch out. We'll
switch out."
This is pretty awesome.
I think part of it though, Marvel is partially playing it up. With,
of course,
Tom Holland, like all the leaking stuff. I think they've settled on a good rhythm of like whenever leaks happen by their actors, they don't turn it into this whole thing. They kind of like laughably joke at it. Right. That's
I think the only time it was a bad situation was when Mark Ruffalo leaked like 10 minutes of Ragnarok audio. That might have been a step too far, but that was an accident.
But even then, I felt like they handled that pretty clean later on. He talked about it. He went on Stephen Colbert and talked about it, and it was just a thing.
Yeah,
like,
played it off,
laughing about it. Yeah, just played it off. But the other thing. Oh,
sorry,
go on.
go ahead.
I'll this is real quick before you.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Russo brothers say they want to try something different for advertising. They don't just want to do trailers. They're thinking about doing. They used to have the Marvel shorts, and they're wondering if like they're like, oh, I wonder if there's something new we can do instead of trailers, like new footage or a new clip or something exclusive to lead into the movie. Blade Runner did that with a lot of They released 3 short films set in the universe that did not show up in the movie, and they had 3 different directors do like little 6-7 minute short films based in the Blade Runner universe before the movie came out. I thought that was cool.
That is pretty fantastic.
I don't know what happened, but that'd be cool. What are you gonna say,
Bar? Kind of sort of off topic, but not really at the same time. Did you guys see the Comic-Con panel for Rogue One?
I vaguely remember reading about this. I did not see the panel. Give us a refresher.
Okay, spoilers for Rogue One if you haven't seen it yet.
Flee
right now and go watch Rogue One. A character dies in it though, and it's Prentice in the chat actually just said it. The guy playing I don't even know his name.
Chirrut Enley.
Yeah, the guy with the big Gatling gun, right? He was talking about his character. It was going on. He was very emotional about how he liked playing his character and how he liked the movie and like the role that his character had and his companionship with the other guy, the monk guy. And he was like he clearly was very much in his head while describing it, and accidentally mentioned how his character felt after Chirrut died. In the panel for Comic-Con months before the movie was going to come out, live in front of an audience. It was crazy.
Oh, damn.
That sounds very
It was
cringy.
probably one of the worst examples of someone spoiling something I've ever seen.
How do you even play that off?
No, you know what? It's not the worst. If you can believe it, back in one of the I don't know, it was a Comic-Con, it was a convention when Episode 5 came out. Someone revealed, it was the guy in the stunt costume who was playing Darth Vader. He revealed that Darth Vader is Luke's father live at a panel before the movie came out.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
It didn't go because they didn't have live streams, they didn't have the internet back then, so a newspaper reported on it. At that time, they said, "Oh, by the way, you just mentioned it. It was the local newspaper, and it didn't go anywhere. People didn't figure it out until the movie. That's the only reason. If that guy did that today, he would be
He would not have a job. Yeah.
He would be replaced by a clone because Disney would have killed him.
The mouse would have got him.
Nice.
The mouse always finds out. Don't mess with the mouse.
But yeah, it was crazy. I definitely recommend, if you've seen the movie, you know the spoilers, definitely recommend watching that panel because it was very, very funny watching them kind of scramble, be like, oh my god, he just did it.
I'm gonna have to do this after this. Sounds awesome.
We should sing View It after this.
Let's.
I don't think I could watch that. It would hurt me too much.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and
because I've done that.
What have you done? Have you spoiled some?
Yeah, I've done it plenty of times.
Incredible. Spoilers are tricky,
man.
man.
An hour and 14. Whoa.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end this.
Yeah, let's wrap up. But not realize how long we were going.
Let's keep
real
going.
quick. Hold up, real quick. Princess said that that's a falsehood because the dummy one said, I know that story, but it is not a falsehood. This is the newspaper clip that was posted, spoiling the whole deal.
Conspiracy theory.
Yeah. Now people have said he might not have been aware. He might have just said it possibly and not actually known for a fact that it was going to happen. But the fact was he did say it, and it was 2 years before Empire came out, and this newspaper reported on it.
2 years. Yeah. 2 years before the movie came out. Oh wow, that's bad.
Really, really bad.
2 years is crazy.
Well, thank you all very much for listening to TTV episode 274. It's been a pretty wild and crazy ride. Phweffie, it was nice having you back on for a podcast. Yeah. It's been a while.
It was my pleasure being back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for listening.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you all fans as well for checking it out. Checking us out. What?
One thing, I don't know if we've actually addressed it before, but we should probably talk about it very briefly before we wrap up. In case people have noticed, if they look at our channel right now, there are a few changes to certain things.
Oh, yes.
Right now, if you look on videos, you'll notice that the dislike bar is now gone. Also, our comments are being monitored a little bit harder now because certain things. So you might notice that if you post a comment, it might not show up right away. We're moderating it closely because right now we've been dealing with a lot of issues with people kind of attacking our channel. So just want to let you guys know that it's hopefully not a change that's going to last forever, but for right now, you've got to, kind of do something to control the situation a little bit.
Some damage control.
Yeah, because the comments definitely were a problem. So
they're
pretty much.
They're like, it's not. We've talked before about how we used to have it. Or I guess we kind of still do, not having a policy about deleting comments and that kind of thing. However, there have been comments that are very clearly not related to the podcast, or maybe not related to the podcast, that meant to troll or meant to be a thing, and so we had to
It is a complete waste of time.
Make sure that it's nice for everyone to in the comment section.
Indeed.
It had gotten to a point where it was very difficult to actually tell what was a real comment and what wasn't, to be honest. I think there were a couple people complaining on the last podcast that some comment was deleted. Going to go on the record, I was the one who was moderating the comments, so if there was a comment that was just pure criticism and wasn't meant to be a troll, and I deleted that comment, I apologize.
That being said, okay, listen, how many times has a comment, has everyone noticed? So many people notice a comment has gone in our video before. It feels like that was you know what I'm saying?
Well,
as soon as that's gone, there's 7 comments being like, hey, what happened to this one?
And that's part of the problem is that I can't tell. And that's why we're monitoring comments at the moment, because I can't tell what's legitimate comments nowadays and what is meant to be spam and trolling, and it's a really annoying thing to have to do, but unfortunately that's the case. And it's definitely got a little out of hand. So unfortunately for right now, for the time being, we're gonna have to monitor comments. I feel like I'm a little paranoid, and it really makes me upset.
I get you though, because
I don't like not feeling like I can trust our audience. So it's a very awful feeling, but
indeed,
it's a fact that criticism is always welcome as long as it's something. It comes from people who actively want to see us change for the better. People who are like, I really didn't like this, and I wish this would change, and we can take that. Now you have people kind of wanting to either shift opinion or saying things coming from a place where they just want to see us fail, or they want to see us always be. And so I don't feel like I can trust that opinion as much as I did for other people.
Yeah. So, Yeah, so that's the current situation, guys. Hopefully we can have update you guys on that as the situation progresses, but for right now, that is currently what we're dealing with. So, just wanted to let you guys know.
All right, fair enough. Thank you all very much for watching and supporting and leaving constructive, non-trolling comments. And as always, thank you very much to our Patreon supporters at patreon.com/TTV channel, where you can go pledge any amount you would like to support our channel and get a bunch of incredible perks. Incredible, absolutely incredible, like early access to podcast audio. Every week we do a shout out for our Patreon who subscribes. This week, it's okay. It's fine. This week the shout out goes to Jutta, or Juta.
All right.
J-U-T-T-A.
on this. It is Utah.
Utah. Well, that's excellent. All right,
I
I
already
never
did this
would have
shout
guessed.
out before.
Yes, we did. We already did this shout out before. Well, as it turns out, number one, it's Purple's mom. And that was cool. I did not know that last time. And number two, it is her birthday today.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. Have a happy birthday. And thank
Happy
you
birthday.
for supporting both Purple and our channel, as well as everyone else who comes out to our live streams and our podcast recordings. Your support means the world to us. So thank you very much. And I'm Meso. That's about it.
I'm Var.
I'm John.
Phweffie?
And have a good weekend, everybody. We'll see y'all next week for another incredible
a good
episode
week,
of the
everyone.
TTV Podcast.
Bye.
Farewell.
Have a good day,
Okay, stay tuned
night
for
or
that
morning.
for Brainstorm tomorrow.
Oh yes, that's gonna be
Brainstorm.
a fun episode. I'll tell you what.
Fun episode.